Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Isami Boxing sparring gloves, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, so today we're going to be doing a close-up weigh-in and review on these Isami sparring gloves, which are made in Japan. They're the other Japanese-made boxing company, one that you probably haven't heard of as much as Winning. Obviously, they're not as popular, but still, nonetheless, beautiful gloves. Those are the gloves in 14-ounce Velcro. Came in this nice packaging, just like Winning. They use these nice boxes to package the gloves in. Came wrapped up in this plastic wrap. Budo martial arts equipment, and I don't know if this is some kind of carrying bag, and then it came with this paper instruction that's written in Japanese. So really nice presentation in terms of how they package everything. These gloves are made to order, so it took about a month to receive these, but you can see here, just kind of give you guys a close-up. Very nice, full genuine leather that they use on the entire glove. Here's the black. Nice stitching overall. There's maybe a little piece sticking out there, nothing too crazy though. Attached thumb, you can see the gold on the thumb right there. Has a nice texture. Boxer Hard Knock Life. It says 14 ounce on the grip bar, very similar to Winning. You can see it has kind of an angle to it. One thing you also notice is how big the thumb compartment is on this glove. It has kind of an unusual profile, one that you typically don't see in boxing gloves, but you can see the thumb is actually a lot longer than your typical boxing glove, and I'll talk about that here in the actual review on how that feels. Gold piping, the stitching throughout, the Velcro strap and the wrist support is very similar to Winning, where they don't put very much emphasis on the inside part of the wrist, but the back does have, I'd say, a ½ inch of medium density padding for the back of the wrist for the wrist support. And there is that same satin nylon liner, that navy blue that Winning uses, and a rubberized patch that's stitched onto the back of the Velcro cuff. But overall, very beautiful gloves, very well made. And you can see the leather itself looks fantastic. Nice quality there, and everything looks really nice and clean. So let's go ahead and put this on the scale, see how much these weigh. Being that they're 14 ounce, let's see if they're 14 ounces. Oh, let me change it to the correct unit. Okay. So these are 13.9, the right glove, so almost right on point. And the left glove is 14. So the gloves are pretty much exactly on point with weight, which is fantastic to see. So let's go ahead and do the review. What's going on, guys? Carlo here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Isami Boxing sparring gloves. I got mine in the black, gold, and white color scheme, 14 ounces. It's a Velcro closure only glove for this particular model. Comes in 14 or 16 ounces and several different color schemes. I have the black, they also have a blue and a red version of this glove. Now, Isami's a brand that's actually based out of Japan. Their gloves are manufactured in Japan, so much like Winning, you don't really hear about this brand very much though compared to Winning, which is obviously much more popular in combat sports and in boxing in general. But Isami is actually sold through a company called Choke Sports, who also sells Risen and several other gloves used by Pride FC fighters. A lot of the Japanese sanctioning bodies that do fighting combat sports out in Japan use these brand gloves, so they're legit. These are actually really beautiful gloves. They really remind me of Winning in certain aspects, but they definitely have their own design and flair to these gloves. Now, looking at this glove, it does have a little bit more of a shorter, stockier build to it, being 14 ounces. You can see it does have Boxer Hard Knock Life that's printed on the back of the glove. Boxer Hard Knock Life that's printed on the thumb. One thing you notice about is this thumb is really long and roomy. So I'm not really too sure the thinking or the design process behind it. It definitely has more of a unique feel, but the thumb is a lot larger than, you know, what I'm typically used to with other gloves. You do have an attached thumb there, and I'll talk about that when I actually put these gloves on. 14 ounces right here that's printed on the grip bar. The grip bar actually feels pretty firm. I think it's almost like a small piece of like rubber garden hose that they slide in there. The gold piping looks really clean. You do have a 3.5-inch Velcro strap that has the gold piping that goes all the way around. It says Hard Knock Life Boxer. That's kind of a rubberized patch that's stitched on. It doesn't have any sharp edges that will catch. That's a good thing. And then full wraparound Velcro strap. Much like Winning, which is not a good thing, they don't really put much wrist support on the inside. On the back, you get to have about a 1/2 inch of medium density padding with that dark blue navy colored polyester, that satin liner, that same kind of liner that Winning uses. But I would have liked to have seen a little bit more padding on the front of the glove, or should I say on the palm side, to really lock your hand in. And it does use a triple layer sponge foam padding. So this is actually an excellent, excellent balanced glove. Meant for sparring, but these work really well on the bag. In terms of feedback and protection, I actually like these more than the Winnings. I feel like these crack a little bit more, and you get a little bit more feedback with this type of foam that they use. Now, quality-wise, these gloves are right up there with Winning, in my opinion. I actually like the leather a little bit more. The only thing I would say that's a little bit lacking compared to Winning was maybe just, I would say here, a notch under Winning would be the stitching. Other than that, I think the leather is better. I feel like it doesn't have such a synthetic feel to it. I feel like Winning, sometimes the gloves have that more of a synthetic feel, where these you can actually see the grain and the texture of the leather when you run your hands through it. If you know, it's definitely a genuine leather, has a nice thick feel to it. You can see they do a nice job of rolling the leather into the fingertip compartment. Now these gloves are actually made to order. They don't just stock a bunch of these gloves and ship them out to you. So when you order these from their website, it usually takes 2 weeks just to manufacture them, and however long else it takes to ship them to you. So there is a manufacturing time when you purchase these gloves, but that's nice that you're getting kind of a custom made glove. You're not just getting something that's kind of mass produced and sitting in the warehouse somewhere. But I mean, the stitching overall looks pretty good in most of the spots. You can see a little bit of stitching coming out there. Leather looks fantastic, but the stitching pattern, everything is nice and straight, symmetrical. You can see right there on that corner, a little bit of thread kind of coming out right there. But overall, the stitching looks good, reinforced, looks really nice. The Velcro strap looks really clean. The edges on the Velcro looks good. You can see the piping looks good. You can see some of the stitching on the piping, where the piping is at. Could have been cleaner. You can see the stitching underneath. So you can see it's not as straight as I would like. I mean, obviously that's a little bit more of the aesthetics if you're being nitpicky. But again, we're still reviewing gloves here, so you gotta pick out everything, right? Liner looks really good. No holes in the liner. No areas where it's all rolled over. They did do a nice job of sewing the piping to the inside liner. So that looks clean right there. And again, the strap looks really good. All leather, nothing synthetic there. So overall, excellent quality as far as the leather goes. The feel of the glove, I would say that the stitching is probably an 8 out of 10 if I were to grade it just on the little small imperfections. But outside of that, everything else about the glove is really, really nice. Now the comfort of the glove, sliding your hand in here, definitely has a unique feel. And the reason I say that is because of the thumb. Now the thumb is a little bit tight on this piping spot right here. And it's really roomy because of how long it is and how wide the thumb is. You can actually see my thumb is in there, and you can't even, like, this is on top of my thumb. So if you have long fingers, these gloves are great for you. But it's not uncomfortable, it just feels different. It just feels roomier and doesn't really affect the way I throw a punch. But I am a little bit concerned of how roomy it is that way. I don't want to ever have to jam my thumb, or if I hit at a wrong angle. I think the roominess of the thumb compartment is a little bit of an issue. And the piping is a little bit tight, so that's going to take a little breaking in. The gloves are semi-broken in. You can see an open and close my hand fairly easy. The foam will take a little bit of breaking in, but not too much. Feels really nice and comfortable in the fingertip compartment, wide enough to where your fingers aren't collapsing on each other, and deep enough to where you can really make a nice fist. You can see that it has a nice punching surface as well. And I really like the feedback of these gloves when you land on your target. But it does have like a little piece of rolled, I don't know if it's a piece of foam or a rolled piece of the inner liner that goes over the seam. And you can kind of feel it when you're grabbing down. So it has a little bit of a tightness there against your fingertips. It's right where your first digits are at. You can feel that little piece rolling into your hand. But overall, feels really nice. The thumb is a little awkward because of how loose it is on the inside, but everything else with the gloves feels really good. Now, the protection and performance, the one area I feel like can be improved, and it's pretty much identical to the winning Velcro gloves. They don't really put any wrist support on the palm side of the glove. They do on the back, but on the palm side, there's virtually nothing there. It's just the leather and the liner. So I wish they would add something there to give you a little bit more wrist support. But I do like the way these perform compared to the winnings. I feel like you're perfectly balanced, both for sparring and mitt work and bag work. You can really use these gloves as a universal glove in the gym because it offers excellent protection, does a good job of absorbing shock, and good feedback as well. So I just love the triple layer of sponge foam that they use on these gloves. They feel really, really nice. So definitely like that. Now cost-wise, these gloves are $269, which are obviously on the higher end of the spectrum. Not quite as high as winning for the similar glove. Winnings are usually around $300, $350 starting. So you're kind of undercutting winning depending on the model and the size. Anywhere between $75 to $100. And if you're looking for a winning like glove with the quality like winning, but you want to kind of come in $100 cheaper, and you don't mind breaking the gloves a little bit more. It doesn't have the same level of comfort as winning, but the protection and the performance to me is a little bit better as far as their Velcro versions of the winning. So if you're comparing Velcro to Velcro with the winnings, I like these more in terms of the way they feel when you hit the bag, hitting the mitts, and just doing overall gym work. If you can get used to the thumb, then that's another thing as well. I just think this needs a little bit of breaking in, and the thumb is a little bit on the long and open side. But outside of that, I think these gloves are awesome. Not very many people have these, so it's kind of a rare glove, but I definitely think if you're looking for something winning wise, or a Japanese style glove with the quality that goes along with it, these would definitely be a good choice. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. And I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Isami Boxing gloves. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.